2.2, absolute value, part 1. So let's start out with some definitions here. So, two numbers that are the same distance from 0 on a number line, but are on opposite sides of 0 are opposites. So, for example, the numbers 5 and -5 are opposites because each is 5 units from 0. Okay, if we think about that number line here that we had before, five is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units here. And -5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units here. Okay. Absolute value is the distance a number is from 0. Okay. And the symbol that we use to represent this are straight up and down lines. Okay, so they're kind of like parentheses, but they're straight up and down. So let's look at what absolute value is. So if A, the number inside of here, if it's a positive number, I'll try to spell that again. There we go. If A is a positive number, then the absolute value of A equals A. So our example here is the absolute value of 3. Okay, so the absolute value of 3 is 3. If A is 0, then the absolute value of A is 0. So our example here, the absolute value of 0 is 0. And if A is a negative number, then the absolute value of A will be negative A. So for example, the absolute value of -3 is 3. So I know that this here is a little confusing because my answer here is not negative, but really what it's telling me is to change the sign of what's on the inside. So that -3 becomes a +3. So basically what absolute value is doing is making the number positive. Okay, so it makes the number positive. So it doesn't matter whether the number on the inside is positive or negative, those absolute value bars will automatically make it positive. Okay. It doesn't change them, negative signs on the outside, just on the inside. So let's use some example problems here to show you what I mean. Alright, so the absolute value is 5 here. The absolute value of 5 is 5. So what we're saying with absolute value is how many spaces away from 0 is the number 5. Well, we figured out earlier that it is 5 units away from 0. Okay, so the absolute value of -2.3 is going to be 2.3. Again, those absolute value bars are making everything positive. Okay, here we're going to keep the negative sign on the outside. The absolute value bars don't affect that. So if we look at just the absolute value of 1/2, that's 1/2. And then we're going to attach that outside negative sign to it. So again, this outside negative sign was going to stay. So we look at the absolute value of -8. It's 8. And then we're just going to attach the outside negative sign to it. So the absolute value of -4 is 4. The absolute value of 0 is 0. The absolute value of 3/2 is 3/2. And here, remember, the negative on the outside stays. We find the absolute value of 1.7, which is 1.7. And then we attach that outside negative sign to it. Okay, so in review, remember, absolute value makes everything positive on the inside. Okay, and then if there is any negatives on the outside, those stay. Okay, at this point, you're going to go ahead and complete section 2.2, checkpoint 1.